Let's find the equivalent resistance between terminals A and B in this tricky resistor network. Now, usually when we solve circuits, we just look for resistors in series or parallel and knock them out step by step. Easy. But sometimes it's not so easy. Take a look at this circuit. At first glance, it looks like a total trap. No resistors are obviously in series. No clean parallel combos. It's like the circuit is daring us to try. So, what do we do when the usual tricks don't work? That's when we bring out the big guns. The delta to Y transformation, or its cousin, the Y to delta. These are powerful tools that let us rewrite parts of the circuit without changing how the electricity flows. They don't simplify the whole circuit in one go, but they unlock it, turning an unsolvable mess into something we can chip away at. So let's dive in and see how to spot these transformations and how they can help us solve the circuit, one smart move at a time. First, we need to identify any delta or Y formations in the circuit. This step is crucial because these configurations give us a pathway to simplify circuits that don't follow the usual series parallel pattern. So take a step back and ignore the resistor values for a moment. Don't worry about the numbers. Just focus on the shape of the connections. This makes it much easier to spot what's really going on in the structure. If you look closely, you'll notice three delta formations tucked inside the circuit. These are triangular loops where each resistor connects directly between two nodes. And that's not all. There are also two Y formations, which look more like a hub with three resistors radiating out from a single central node. The beauty of this is that each delta can be transformed into a Y, and each Y can be converted into a delta. Identifying these formations is the key to unlocking a complex-looking circuit. Once you spot them, you open up multiple paths to simplify and solve what initially seemed unsolvable. But which transformation should we actually use? That's the tricky part. It takes a bit of experience and sometimes some good old trial and error to figure out which delta or Y transformation will actually help simplify the circuit. Just because you can transform a delta or Y doesn't always mean you should. So how do we know which one works best? Well, let's walk through all of these possible transformations and see how each one plays out. Let's start by analyzing this first delta to Y transformation. I'll stretch out the branches a bit to make things clearer. Once we do that, we can spot two pairs of resistors in series, easy to combine. Simplifying those leads us to a cleaner version of the circuit, where we then find a pair of parallel resistors. Solve that, and we're left with another two series resistors. Combine those, and finally we end up with two resistors in parallel. Solve that, and boom, we have our equivalent resistance. Now let's try the second delta to Y transformation. And interestingly, the circuit we get afterward is almost a mirror image of the first one we tried. That means the simplification process follows a very similar path. Identify the series resistors, combine them, handle the parallel sections, and work your way down to the equivalent resistance step by step. In the end, we still arrive at the same result. So both of these delta to Y transformations are solid choices. They each help break the circuit into simpler, more manageable pieces, making the overall problem much easier to solve. Now let's move on to the third delta to Y transformation. Once again, I'll stretch out the branches to make the layout easier to see. At first glance, it seems promising. We can simplify two resistors right away. But then we hit a snag. What's left is a resistor that isn't part of any clear series or parallel combination. It just sits there, awkward and unsolvable. Now, yes, there are still a few more delta and Y formations you could mess with. But here's the problem. If you keep going, there's a good chance you'll just loop back to the same complex mess you started with. So in this case, it's really not worth the effort. This transformation doesn't give us a useful path forward and might only waste time and lead to more frustration than progress. Sometimes the smartest move is knowing which option not to take. Now let's turn our attention to the two Y formations in the circuit. Since they're quite similar, I'll explain both together. We can transform each Y into a delta like this, and once we do, the entire circuit reshapes into something far more manageable. Right away, we uncover parallel resistor pairs that are easy to simplify. Once those are done, we're left with a clean series connection, and after that, we arrive at a final step. 3 resistors in parallel. Solve that, and we've got our equivalent resistance. Just like that, the messy circuit becomes something we can handle step by step. So, in total, we've explored 4 different transformations that could help simplify the circuit. Each has its pros and cons, and while any of them could technically work, some are definitely more efficient than others. To keep things balanced and to show both techniques in action, I'll go with one Y to Delta and one Delta to Y transformation. First, let's start with the Delta to Y transformation, which is perfect for breaking down resistor triangles that can't be simplified by regular series or parallel rules. Here's how it works. Each resistor in the new Y network connects to one of the original Delta's corners. To find the value of each Y resistor, you multiply the 2 Delta resistors connected to that node, then divide by the sum of all 3 Delta resistors. Simple enough, right? The formula might look a little intimidating at first glance, but don't worry, it's just a matter of plugging in the values. Let's walk through it step by step and see how this transformation reshapes our circuit into something far easier to solve. Let's begin with R1, which connects to node X in the delta. This node is shared by the 10 ohm and 12.5 ohm resistors. Multiply those two, then divide by the total sum of all 3 delta resistors, which is 27.5. That gives us R1 approximately 4.54 ohms. Next is R2, connected to node Y, where the 12.5 ohms and 5 ohms resistors meet. Following the same process, we get R2 approximately equals 2.27 ohms. Finally, we calculate R3, which sits at node Z, connected to the 10 ohm and 5 ohm resistors. Multiply, divide by the total, and we find R3 approximately 1.82 ohms. And just like that, the delta to Y transformation is complete. We can now replace the original delta with this Y-shaped configuration. The electrical behavior of the circuit stays exactly the same, but now it's much easier to simplify. With the transformation done, we're ready to move on to the fun part, spotting series in parallel combinations and solving the circuit step by step. Let's start simplifying the circuit after our delta to Y transformation. Now each of these branches contains a pair of resistors in series, which we can combine first. We'll label the results as R4 and R5. After adding the resistors in each branch, we get R4 equals 17.27 ohms and R5 equals 21.82 ohms. Next, R4 and R5 are clearly connected in parallel. Solving that parallel pair gives us a new equivalent resistance. We'll call it R6, and its value comes out to 9.64 ohms. Moving on, R6 is in series with the 4.54 ohm resistor from the Y transformation. Add them together and we get 7 equals 14.18 ohms. At this point, we're left with 2 resistors in parallel. Solve this final step and we arrive at the equivalent resistance for the entire circuit, 9.63 ohms. And that's it. What started as a tangled, intimidating network is now a clean, simplified result. With a clear strategy and a bit of patience, even the messiest circuits can be unraveled one step at a time. Now let's try solving the same circuit using a Y to delta transformation, another powerful method for simplifying complex resistor networks. To begin, we need to calculate the resistor values for the new delta network that replaces the Y configuration. Here's how the transformation works. To find the value of a delta resistor between any 2 nodes, you multiply each pair of Y resistors, giving you 3 products. Then add those products together and divide by the Y resistor that's directly opposite the delta resistor you're trying to calculate. That's the core formula. Yes, the equation might look a bit intimidating at first, but once you see it in action, you'll realize it's just basic multiplication and division. So let's walk through it one step at a time. Let's start with R2, the resistor that goes between nodes Y and Z. It's directly opposite the Y resistor connected to node X. Following the formula, we multiply each pair of Y resistors, add the results, and divide by the resistor at node X. That gives us R2 equals 35 ohms. Next up is R1, which sits between nodes X and Y, opposite the Y resistor at node Z. Using the same process, we calculate R1 equals 17.5 ohms. Finally, we have R3, running between nodes X and Z and opposite the Y resistor at node Y. Apply the formula one more time, and we get R3 equals 70 ohms. With all three delta resistor values now calculated, the Y to delta transformation is complete. We can now replace the original Y configuration with an equivalent delta, maintaining the exact same electrical behavior, but giving us a version of the circuit that's much easier to work with. Now comes the fun part, simplifying. I'll clean up the layout a bit so the connections are easier to follow. First, we notice two pairs of resistors in parallel. Let's start by solving these pairs to simplify the circuit. Using the reciprocal rule for parallel resistors, we calculate the equivalent values and get R4 equals 7.29 ohms and R5 equals 10.5 ohms. With those simplified, the circuit becomes much easier to handle. Now these two new resistors, R4 and R5, are in series, so we simply add them together. That gives us a combined resistance of R6 equals 17.79 ohms. What's left is a final set of three resistors in parallel. When working with more than two, the best strategy is to combine two first, then take that result and combine it with the third. After crunching the numbers, we find the total equivalent resistance of the entire circuit is 9.63 ohms. And that's it. We've arrived at the exact same result using the Y to delta path. Even though it might look a bit daunting at the beginning, with the right approach and a bit of patience, any complex circuit can be simplified step by step. And that wraps it up. Thanks for watching, and I hope this breakdown helped make complex resistor networks a little less intimidating. If you found this content valuable and want to support the channel, consider joining my Patreon community. It helps me keep creating more videos like this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any upcoming episodes full of interesting science and circuit puzzles. See you in the next one.